The digital world is under siege by a new breed of criminal that holds your data hostage. This is the terrifying reality of ransomware. Imagine your computer files, photos, and work documents locked away, held captive by invisible chains. The criminals offer you a way out for a price. This is not a dystopian thriller. It's the daily reality for countless individuals and businesses. Ransomware has become a global epidemic, transcending borders and industries. The impact is devastating, causing financial losses, disrupting operations, and eroding trust. How did this digital plague become so pervasive? The answer lies in the shadows of the internet. Cybercriminals exploit vulnerabilities, using sophisticated techniques to infiltrate devices and networks. The stakes in this digital game of cat and mouse are higher than ever. Ransomware attacks are increasingly sophisticated, targeted, and damaging. Cybercriminals evolve their tactics, exploiting vulnerabilities to maximize profits. They target individuals, small businesses, large corporations, and critical infrastructure. Beyond ransom payments, victims face system recovery, data restoration, and business downtime costs. The ripple effects highlight the interconnectedness and vulnerability of our digital world. Fighting this faceless enemy requires a multi-pronged approach. It demands a collective effort from individuals, businesses, and governments. Robust security solutions are essential, but only part of the solution. Education and awareness are crucial. Individuals need knowledge and tools to protect themselves. Businesses must adopt proactive security measures, and governments must foster collaboration and enact legislation. The fight against ransomware is a shared responsibility requiring constant vigilance. Ransomware attacks often exploit human error and system vulnerabilities. Think of it like a thief casing a house, looking for the weakest entry point. They might send a seemingly harmless email disguised as a legitimate message. Hidden within these emails is the attacker's weapon, a malicious link or attachment. Clicking on it grants the ransomware access to your device. Once inside, the ransomware burrows into your system, often remaining dormant to avoid detection. This initial infection can spread quickly, like a virus replicating within a host. The ransomware can move laterally through your network, infecting other devices. The attackers are patient, waiting for the opportune moment to launch their main attack. Once ransomware takes hold, the attack enters its most devastating phase, the lockdown. Files become inaccessible, folders are locked, and a ransom note appears. The message is clear: your data is held hostage, and the only way to get it back is to pay up. The encryption methods used are incredibly sophisticated, making it nearly impossible to unlock the files without the decryption key. The ransom demand can vary widely, creating a sense of urgency and panic. Some victims make hasty decisions without fully considering the consequences. Ransomware has evolved to encompass various forms of extortion. One insidious variant is leakware or double extortion ransomware. Attackers not only encrypt data, but also steal a copy, threatening to release it publicly if the ransom is not paid. This adds another layer of pressure, with potential reputational damage and legal ramifications. The true cost of ransomware extends beyond ransom payments. Victims face lengthy downtime, business disruption, and lost productivity. The emotional toll can be substantial, with feelings of violation and fear of data exposure. Many organizations are reluctant to report attacks, fearing negative publicity. This silence emboldens attackers and perpetuates the cycle of extortion. High-profile ransomware cases remind us that even giants are not immune. In May 2021, Colonial Pipeline, a critical U.S. energy infrastructure, was crippled by a ransomware attack. The attack forced the company to shut down its entire pipeline network, disrupting fuel supplies. Panic buying ensued, leading to fuel shortages and price spikes. The company paid a ransom of $4.4 million in Bitcoin to regain control. The incident highlighted the vulnerability of essential services and prompted a national conversation about cybersecurity. Ransomware attacks create a ripple effect, disrupting entire industries and supply chains. In 2017, Maersk, a global shipping giant, was hit by the NotPetya ransomware attack. The attack crippled operations at ports, terminals, and offices worldwide. Maersk estimated the total cost of the attack to be between $200 million and $300 million. The NotPetya attack demonstrated the interconnectedness of the global economy. These high-profile cases underscore the need for a collective response to the ransomware threat. Ransomware attacks targeting municipalities and local governments are on the rise. In 2019, Baltimore was hit by a ransomware attack that crippled its computer systems for weeks. The attack disrupted essential city services, including email, phone lines, and online payment systems. Residents were unable to pay bills or access critical services. The attack cost the city an estimated $18 million in recovery costs and lost revenue. Cities and towns worldwide have been targeted, highlighting the vulnerability of local governments. Increased investment in cybersecurity at all levels of government is crucial. Beyond financial and operational impacts, ransomware attacks have a significant human cost. Victims experience emotional distress, fear, and anxiety. The feeling of vulnerability and loss of control can have long-lasting psychological effects. For individuals, an attack can result in the loss of precious memories and sensitive data. For businesses, it can lead to job losses and reputational damage. Raising awareness about the human cost can foster empathy and encourage greater action to combat this threat. Taking a proactive approach to security is essential. Think of it as building a fortress around your digital life. Awareness is key to shifting from a reactive to a proactive mindset. The methods used by attackers are constantly evolving, but so are the tools and strategies to combat them. Start with the basics. Keep your operating systems, software, and applications up to date. Software updates often include security patches that address known vulnerabilities. Despite your best efforts, your digital fortress might be breached. Regularly backing up your data is crucial. A recent backup becomes your lifeline, allowing you to restore your digital life without paying the ransom. Backups are an ongoing process. Regularly update them to minimize data loss. Cloud-based backup services offer added protection, storing your data off-site. Consider it an insurance policy for your digital assets. Robust antivirus software and firewalls are essential security measures. Antivirus software acts as your internal security force, scanning for threats. Firewalls control network traffic, blocking suspicious activity. Carefully configure your firewall to reduce your attack surface. A combination of antivirus software and a firewall protects your devices and data. These measures work in tandem to defend against a wide range of threats, including ransomware. While technology plays a crucial role in defending against ransomware attacks, it's important to remember that the human element is often the weakest link. Attackers exploit human vulnerabilities, such as curiosity, trust, and fear, to trick individuals into clicking on malicious links, opening infected attachments, or divulging sensitive information. This is where education and awareness become paramount, transforming every user into a human firewall. Regular security awareness training programs should be an integral part of every organization's cybersecurity strategy, empowering employees to identify and avoid potential threats. Teach them to recognize phishing emails, to be wary of suspicious links and attachments, and to report any suspicious activity to the IT department. Encourage a culture of cybersecurity awareness, where employees are encouraged to ask questions, report concerns, and stay informed about the latest threats. Remember, knowledge is power. And in the fight against ransomware, an informed and vigilant workforce can be your strongest defense. By combining robust technological solutions with a well-trained and security-conscious workforce, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to these attacks. The digital landscape, much like the physical world, is in a constant state of flux. As we develop new technologies, new vulnerabilities emerge, creating opportunities for cybercriminals to exploit. The battle against ransomware, therefore, is not one with a defined endpoint but an ongoing struggle, a continuous race to stay ahead of those who seek to profit from chaos and disruption. Just as a castle needs constant upkeep to withstand the test of time, so too do our digital defenses require ongoing attention and adaptation. The methods used by ransomware attackers are constantly evolving, becoming more sophisticated, more targeted, and more difficult to detect. What works today might not be effective tomorrow, making vigilance and adaptability paramount in this digital arms race. Resting on our laurels, assuming that current security measures are enough, is a recipe for disaster. The moment we become complacent is the moment we become vulnerable. We must embrace a mindset of continuous improvement, constantly evaluating our defenses, patching vulnerabilities, and staying informed about the latest threats. The fight against ransomware demands unwavering commitment, a recognition that cybersecurity is not a destination but a journey. The key to staying ahead in this digital arms race lies in understanding the enemy, anticipating their moves, and developing countermeasures before they strike. This requires a proactive approach, one that goes beyond simply reacting to attacks after they occur. It involves actively monitoring the threat landscape, analyzing attack trends, and sharing intelligence with other organizations and security professionals. Think of it as a game of chess, where each move by the attacker must be met with a calculated response. We need to study their tactics, understand their motivations, and anticipate their next target. This requires collaboration, both within and across industries, as well as with government agencies and law enforcement. By sharing information about attack methods, indicators of compromise, and emerging threats, we can collectively build a stronger defense. This collective intelligence gathering allows us to identify patterns, predict future attacks, and develop proactive strategies to mitigate risks. Staying ahead of the curve requires a combination of technical expertise, threat intelligence, and a willingness to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of cyber threats. The fight against ransomware is not one that any single entity can win alone. It requires a collective effort, a united front against a common enemy. Governments, businesses, and individuals all have a role to play in this digital battleground. Governments must enact legislation that deters cybercrime, provides law enforcement with the tools they need to pursue attackers, and encourages international cooperation in combating this global threat. Businesses, large and small, must prioritize cybersecurity, investing in robust defenses, implementing best practices, and educating their employees about the importance of cybersecurity awareness. Individuals must take responsibility for their own digital hygiene, practicing safe computing habits, being cautious about suspicious emails and links, and keeping their devices and software up to date. The key to an effective collective defense lies in collaboration and information sharing. Governments and law enforcement agencies can provide valuable threat intelligence to businesses and individuals, helping them understand the latest tactics and techniques used by ransomware attackers. Businesses can share their experiences with each other, learning from attacks and developing best practices to prevent future incidents. Individuals can play a critical role by reporting suspicious activity and educating their friends and family about cybersecurity best practices. While the scale of the ransomware threat can feel overwhelming, it's important to remember that individual actions can make a real difference. Every person who takes steps to protect themselves online contributes to a stronger collective defense. Think of it as a ripple effect, where each individual action, no matter how small, spreads outward, creating a wave of protection that makes it more difficult for attackers to succeed. Empowering individuals starts with education. People need to understand the basics of cybersecurity, the different types of threats they face online, and the steps they can take to protect themselves. This includes recognizing phishing emails, being cautious about clicking on links or opening attachments from unknown sources, and understanding the importance of strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. But education alone is not enough. We need to make it easy for people to protect themselves. This means designing user-friendly security tools, providing clear and concise instructions, and offering support when needed. We need to empower individuals to take control of their own digital security, giving them the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the online world safely and confidently. The battle against ransomware is not one we can afford to lose. The stakes are too high, the potential consequences too dire. A future where our digital lives are held hostage by cybercriminals is not a future we can accept. But it's not a future that's inevitable. By working together, by embracing a mindset of continuous improvement, and by empowering individuals to take control of their own digital security, we can create a future where ransomware is no longer a threat. A future where our digital lives are secure, and the benefits of technology are accessible to all. This requires a collective effort, a shared responsibility to protect ourselves and each other. It demands vigilance, adaptability, and a commitment to staying one step ahead of those who seek to exploit our vulnerabilities. But most importantly, it requires a belief that a secure future is possible, a future where the digital world is a place of opportunity, innovation, and progress, not fear, extortion, and disruption. The fight against ransomware is a fight for the future of the internet, and it's a fight we must win.